Here are 3 lessons we are going to take away and learn and implement in our game today from Alex Honnold's crazy climbs, summits, and everything in between. This is calculated courage and trusting our preparation for under pressure when there's no rope, when there's nothing to climb some crazy mountains and buildings. Let's rock and roll with this and understand that this courage is built. And it's not just a random hyped thing, it is a byproduct of preparation, not a personality trait, not something that someone's has. It's coming from a calculated risk and calculated courage. And that's what we have here. If you're new to the channel, to this episode, my name is Gabe Rummel. I'm the founder of The Athlete's Health, creator of this mental performance playbook. Now, The Athlete's Health is like a mental gym, a mental weight room where we collect data and we have simple mental exercises that we get reps on to then improve our confidence, our performance, and we track this, put the data behind it so we can make the invisible side visible. Mental Performance Playbook is a way to give out these free exercises so people can implement them, use them right away, have that help out their game. Now, if you like more of what we have going on here today, check out our free mental training session in the comment in the link below. And otherwise, share this with someone and give it a follow, give it a subscribe, give it a like so we can keep growing together. But let's get into this. We have 3 main pieces that we can take away from all the free soloing that Alex Honnold does. Now, if you don't know who he is a free soloer who has climbed without ropes, without anything besides just the chalk in his back pocket up the craziest mountainsides and also now buildings like in Taipei. If you look up his name, you will find a lot more about him. It is insane, crazy photos, documentaries are fabulous. I think on Hulu, and the live stream the other day was on Netflix. So give them a watch. But this is what we can take away from them, starting with our first exercise, the micro sequence. Now, this is a blueprint, right? Alex did not wake up just feeling brave. His historic rope climb of El Capitan, the free rider is what it's called. He was going through this route relentlessly. Now, I mean, the mountain. So you can see the path. He was walking through it, not just on the actual mountain and doing it time and time again with ropes. He was doing it in his head. He was doing it anytime that he could to relentlessly practice that routine. And the other thing that he did with that was he was breaking it down into smaller sections, parts that he could execute. So if pressure hits you today, could you execute the performance that you have to have in the small chunks, or do you only kind of know it as a big blur? It all kind of meshes together. In one essence, that may be okay. In many other circumstances, however, we want to bring it more consolidated. We want to put it in smaller pieces. And this is what I mean by it. We want to break our performance into 5 to 10 micro sequences. So like the first 2 pitches, the first 3 plays, that first minute, the first 2 possessions, right? You name it, something like that, where we have the pieces of it. It's in chunks, they're in buckets. And then in each one, we can have a cue, an action, a finished way to wrap it up, to put the bow on that present. And then we chunk it like that. We practice it right like that, right? We don't go into practicing full innings or full games without first taking it play by play, hit by hit, swing by swing. We're putting it in these chunks, and some might call these boring chunks, or they get boring. But then we link the chunks together, and we link the plays together. Now all of a sudden in football, we have a full 2-minute offense when before we were practicing the play after play. When we do this, the only job in it is to do the next micro sequence of the sequence. It's not the whole mountain. It's not climbing the whole thing. He's not thinking about, okay, I have an insane amount of footage to climb. He's saying, nope, I just am going through the next, and they would name it too, the next piece that I have to walk through. It's deliberately chunking them out. And that is exactly what we can do. We can chunk out the big pieces or the main parts of the game into our fundamental pieces that we practice and we rehearse and we get the repetitions on and we keep going. These are the micro sequences in our blueprint. So we don't just feel brave, but we have rehearsed and we know exactly what is going to come our way. And the next piece I want us to add on to this is converting data, converting pieces, processing it, and moving on with it in the best way that we can do it. Now, Honnold would do this with a no fear mentality, is what people thought. And they talk about this a lot with his amygdala. So his fear part of his brain. Oh, he doesn't have any fear, but he said it himself that it's not necessarily that. It's just that he's put himself in that situation so many times that stimuli isn't very stimulating to him. And therefore, he can just perform it on a normal basis. He can stand on the very top of a skyscraper like Spider Man and not have it be fearful to him because he knows exactly what to do, whether it's conditions, whether it's the hold, whether it is the fatigue of his arms or the weather. He knows exactly his response to any nervousness or any threat. It's like a report going down in his head and he can process it. So if we want to take away some pieces from this, if we do, when we do have anxiety hit us, we can process this as data and not danger or not dimming ourselves down. We can look at, okay, what are the controllable pieces? We got 3 audits here. We got sleep, warm ups, routines, the cues. We got influenceable places of communication, of pacing, of tactics, things that will influence us. And then we have the uncontrollable pieces, right? We got the refs, the umps, the weather, the crowd. Those are things that we got nothing over. So we got the controllable pieces that we fully do. We have the influenceable pieces, the pieces that are able to influence us, and then the uncontrollable ones. Now, to make this fear state diminish, we have to go back to those controllable pieces because the other ones we don't have much over. But if we can go back to those controllable pieces and fully align ourselves with those pieces, we can set ourselves up for success. In the latest video, it was still windy. You can see Alex's hair blowing on the building in the skyscraper because people are inside filming him. It's quite miraculous. That is an uncontrollable piece for him. It's one that doesn't matter. He can't do. Doesn't have to worry about it. But he can still do the pieces that he knows he can do to climb and to get ready for it. And the last piece to tie into this second part of the fear being data conversion, converting it into possibilities is if we do have a little bit of excitement, I want to call it, before games or matches, use it. That's more data to collect and to convert into the game. That's some exciting pieces that can help us, that can bring our energy up and crush the game and knock it out of the park. And then if we want this last piece, this third part that we can get from this is a one hold rule, right? This is locking the process on the very next play. Now, we already were talking about chunking it, and we were talking about getting the reps and using the data, put it into some collective feedback and process it. Well, now we can look at just one singular piece, right? It's not I'm 16,000 a mile up into the air. It's just this one hold. It's this one foot, this one step, this one breath. That is all he's thinking as he's climbing up the mountain. I don't know for sure, right? I'm not in his head, but that's what he is thinking, how he can stay present throughout the climb, throughout the mountain or the building and massive city ascent where he's hanging with just his feet and he's not getting swallowed up by the moment because he said it himself. Everyone's there to support him, most of them anyways. And so he's just going to focus on his climb, that one thing. So what is the one thing that you can do right now that makes the next moment easier? And that's all we need. Maybe it's quieting the eyes and zoning in on one piece. Maybe it's just finding the very next rep or finding that fastest foot, explosive breath that we can. Maybe it's explosive step, I meant to say. The next thing I was going to say was breathe and scanning and getting back to the basics. So we can analyze that, pair it once again with a physical movement, something that's going to snap us literally out of the state, out of the thought into the next one if we're in the state and we're trying to take it step by step, one by one, and then take the very next one. That's all that this is, but it's some of the biggest pieces that we can take away from it, not to get hung up on what's in front of us or teleporting our thoughts into what's in front of us, and not to get hung up on these thoughts that are behind us or the footing behind us or that last step, and just moving on, climbing up to the next pieces. The free soloing is insane, but that is what we can take away from all this. It's the micro sequencing, it's the chunking it up. It's not the entire building, it's level by level. And it's ultimately getting the courage and the confidence and having it calculated and having the reps behind it to make the bravado that we may see on the outside just earned trust in ourselves and our preparation to make it work. Having that fear convert into data. That's all it is, of turning the nerves or whatever other instance that we have into the controllable audit, reference, system, check of what we have going on, and then finding just the one hold rule, the one spot to zone in, not the whole game, not the last plays, not the ones coming up, just that one spot. Hopefully, this helps us break down at least some of Alex Honnold's crazy adventures and day by day process that he puts in. And if you have not checked out his videos, check them out. If you're afraid of heights, kind of like I am, it's going to be nerve wracking. But of course, we face our fears and we do it in chunks and we do it with one hold at a time. My name is Gabe Brummel. I will catch you next week on the Mental Performance Playbook. Like before, share this with someone, follow it, give it 5 stars, give it a like if you're liking this episode. And otherwise, check out our free training session. If you or an athlete you know wants to get in the mental training and level up their game, and I will catch you next week. Peace.